Okay, everybody, so here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to multi-track on Garageband. So I'm going to go to Create Song, and I'm going to open up, we did this earlier, we did Drummer, and I'm just going to use Kyle's default beat because that's what we used before. Okay, and so there it is. Count to 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, and it loops. Okay, so there is his drum beat. Now, I think it's a little too fast for what I want, so I'm actually going to change the tempo. I'm going to set it down. I'm going to make it much slower for my recording. Let's take it down to about 90 and see what that sounds like. I'll bring it back. Yeah, I like that better. Definitely like that better. Okay, so I have my drum beat down. And don't forget, there's all different drummers. You can go in here and listen to any drummer. I am just using, right now, I'm using Kyle because for time's sake. Don't forget, you also have preset drum beats in here. For every single drummer has their own set of presets. So if it could be Kyle, if I change to Logan, all his presets would change. Every drummer has different presets. So you're going to have to work around a little bit. Let me make sure this is the same. Yes. Okay, so now I want to make a new track, and I want to make a string track. Okay, so I'm going to go to Tracks View, which is right next to the little robot head. And now I'm looking at my tracks. On the bottom of the screen, you see a plus sign down left. I'm going to click on that. And now it takes me back to this screen, the home screen, and I'm going to pick strings. Okay, so now I've got my strings, and now I have two tracks. I'll hit the track button again, and you will see there are two instruments here, drums and then strings. Okay, so I'll go back to my strings, and don't forget you can bow, or you can have hits. Okay, you can select and deselect instruments, like maybe I want to just start something slowly and I get... Okay, or I can put them all in. Don't forget also that we have different sounds, cinematic, modern, pop, and romantic, and you can also turn on autoplay, and there's 4 autoplays for each one of these. So 4 times 4 is 16. You have 16 different presets. So here they are. Or here's one of them. Out some of them so I can play around with that. Okay, so you end up with your selections, and I can go back to my track view here. Oops, that's not track view. I'll go back to my track view here, and I think I'm ready to record. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my strings. I'm going to make sure my cursor is at the beginning of the measure up here, and I'm going to hit the record button, and it's going to give me a count of 4, and then I can start recording. 2, 3, 4. Turns red. And there is my recording. It'll turn green because it's a loop. So my whole song is now here. If I go to my track view, there is my song. There's my drums. There are my strings. And if I play it, okay. Other things you can do is you can select a track, and you tap on it, you'll see cut, copy, delete, loop, split, edit, rename, settings, etc. So you could name this drums, or you could rename this strings, or whatever you might want to do. So instead of Kyle, it'll say drums, or instead of pop, it will say strings, or whatever you want to name it. But one of the things you can do is the split feature. And as you can see, there's a scissors here. And I can choose the track. So I highlighted the track, and now I'm going to choose split. And I take the scissors, and I cut downward with them, and now I've got 2 separate tracks. Just like that. I'm going to hit the undo button up here, and I'm going to split it at the 2 measure mark, the end of the 2 measure mark. Okay, so I'm going to put this right on 3. And now I'm going to split that. Split. And pull it down. And I have 2 pieces now. You can see it a little clearer there. And then let's say I don't want the drums at the beginning. I can just take this little section and I can delete that. So now the beginning of my song will sound like this. Which I think is pretty cool. So anyway, you can mess around with those effects. I think the split loop is how, when you split, that's how you can add different sections in and take things out. Now, I am going to go to save it, which is in the upper left-hand corner. I'm saving it. Here it is. It's called My Song. I can rename it, no problem, and I can call it Ms. Reimers. You'll name it your name, of course, and I'm done. Oh, it's taken already, so I have to choose something else. Me. Okay? And there's my song. And eventually, we're all going to upload our songs and share with each other. But for today, just make sure you save your work. Okay? That's it. Have a good one.